Hello guys, it's your boy, Kion Prince, and before we get into this video, I just want to quickly say that, yes, I know Mufasa is animated and not live action. I'm just using the term to better differentiate which version I'm talking about. I also want to warn you that this video will contain spoilers for the Mufasa movie, so if you don't want to be spoiled, now's your chance to click off. Okay, spoilers starting in 3, 2, 1. So, for those of you who've seen the Mufasa movie, or even just trailers or synopses for the movie, you'd know that in this movie, the birth name they chose for Scar is Taka. Now, most of you have probably heard this name, as well as know the origins for it, but in case you don't, this name originated from a 6-book box set called 6 New Adventures. Within the box set was a book called A Tale of Two Brothers, where we see that Scar's name, before he got his scar, was in fact Taka. You may also have heard that this name means garbage, while Mufasa means king. And this was one of the reasons I severely disliked them using this name for him, and it just felt like they were pandering to the fans. Now here's the thing, however, these books aren't canon. It has been stated before by Lion King's creators that these books aren't canon and that the actual continuation of the story is The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Dismissing these books means that they had dismissed the name Taka for the animated lore. That being said, he does have a technically canon name within the animated lore, which we find out through the creator of the Lion Guard. Now, before you start typing your little fingers in the comment section to be like, well, I don't count the Lion Guard as canon, that's fine. I totally understand that. The Lion Guard is goofy as fuck a lot of the time, and a lot of aspects of it, and like character behaviors feel really out of place in the animated lore. I get that perspective. I really do. It's kind of goofy. But Disney has mainly seemed to always present the Lion Guard as a canon continuation to the animated story. And they even put effort into removing the Guard from the Pride Lands during the time period of Simba's Pride to further solidify this. So even if you personally choose not to consider its events canon, on an objective level, it essentially is. Now, sometimes creators of a show or series will not show something on screen, but rather state this later online or in interviews, and that's usually what we refer to as Word of God. Now, since the Lion Guard is considered canon by Disney to the Lion King animated lore, Ford Riley, the show's creator, has the power to make Word of God statements. And he's made one of these statements to give us Scar's technically canon name, Ascari, presumably named after the lion who created the Roar of the Elders. And this makes sense. Within the animated lore, Scar being the second-born makes him destined to be the next Lion Guard leader and wielder of the Roar. So him being named after its creator makes a lot of sense and gives his name way more care and respect than one that apparently means garbage. The word Ascari also seems to be connected with soldiers or military, which also makes a lot of sense considering he's the leader of the Pride Lands Protectors. And it also introduced a fun wordplay of him being called Scar because Ascari has the sound scar in it. And while the nickname still feels pretty distasteful on Mufasa's part, it has way more playful undertones when it's given this context than just calling him Scar for fun, I guess. And for the lore of the animated Scar, this name makes so much sense. So if we have a perfectly good canon name for Scar, why did the creators of Mufasa movie ignore it to instead give him one that means garbage? Well, the simple answer is they didn't. I know a lot of you guys have probably heard and regurgitated the rhetoric that Taka means garbage. I sure as hell know that I have. But here's the thing. It really doesn't. At least not in this context. Now, Kato actually made a great video dissecting this that I'll be linking down below for you to check out, but when given the proper context, the word Taka can also be used to mean want. And apparently there's also the word Kutaka, assuming to mean to want. But it's kind of murky on if that's actually true or not. I wouldn't know without consulting someone who actually speaks the language. But this means that the meaning for Taka compared to Scar in the live-action lore makes a lot of sense. Now, the live-action has already been shown to be its own alternate universe with its own lore separate to the animated lore. And when we go over the key differences between Scar's backstory and his relationship with Mufasa in the animated lore and compare it to the live action lore, it starts to make a lot of sense why they A, ignored Ascari, and B, chose Taka over coming up with something new. For example, Disney Jr. actually recently dropped a family tree diagram that, casually canonized a few things into the animated lore, no biggie there. What this also did was show us that Scar and Mufasa are biological brothers with a single set of parents, Ahadi and Yuru. So we're already seeing a difference there, but it's also important to look at how this changes the expectations of who the characters were supposed to be. In the animated lore, Scar and Mufasa both have royal blood, but Mufasa was born first, making him the rightful heir, while Scar's destiny, being the second born, was to be leader of the Lion Guard. There's no storyline to insinuate that Mufasa ever really took anything from Scar. Scar just kind of went a little cray-cray and power-hungry. Snake venom tends to do that, apparently. And he tried to kill him, and, did kill him. In the live action, however, the two have very different backgrounds. Mufasa was born to Masego and Afia, a seemingly nomadic lion couple with common blood as far as we know, while Scar was born to Eshe and Obasi with royal blood. Obasi was the king of his pride, which made Scar the prince and rightful heir to this pride. So this means that he is not the second born meant to inherit the title of Lion Guard leader. Assuming that this role would even apply here, which, despite what seems like a pretty solid, at least nod to Kion's existence in the live-action lore, I highly doubt it does. I don't think they would bring in any of the craziness of the Lion Guard into this world, even if they are bringing in Kion. But Scar being named after the creator of the roar, or giving him a name connecting to, the military, wouldn't make sense here, since he's not in a position that gives him any connections to either of those things. But a name meaning what would make a lot of sense here. And we can see this even before Mufasa gets elected as the king of Malele. We see Scar wanting what he has many times. We see him telling his father how he wants to go and learn to hunt with the lionesses like Mufasa does. He wants the praise Mufasa got for defending his mother when he ran. He wanted Sarabi, and Mufasa getting together with her caused the tipping point in his character arc. In Scar's eyes, Mufasa either has or takes everything he wants, which is why the name Taka works so incredibly well for him here. And I actually really like that they went with it. Even if initially it felt like they were just dick riding the fandom with the name choice, now it feels more like a nod to the old book series while still keeping a name that makes sense for the character that they wrote. And I love that. But that's essentially the gist of it, and I hope you guys think that that's an interesting takeaway. I was just thinking about this in my head all day at work today, so I figured I might as well be useful and make a video essay out of it. But let me know in the comments which name you prefer, or if you'd just pick something else entirely for it. As always, have a good day, and have happy, safe holidays. Oh, and I hope you liked this kind of new video style. This will be mainly for anything that I do that's like commentary or like video essays. Anything like that will probably utilize this style. Any other time you'll just be seeing this very happy image of Kion that makes me happy when I look at it. But yes, have a good day and have some happy and safe holidays, please.